have liquid courage to do this video today. I am dipping my toe into Unhauling. I know I could get rid of a lot more books, but I'm just starting with the ones that I have read and didn't like, and ones that I just kind of know in my heart. If I'm being honest with myself, I'm not gonna read. So consider this like part one of many future unhaul videos. Do I have an unhaul video already on my channel? I think I do. I don't know, I'll link what other video I have of me unhauling books because I know it's a juicy topic. I love watching other people's unhaul videos. I don't know, might never have read the book. I might never have seen this person's other videos before, but I will watch them unhaul books for 3 hours. I don't know why it's a thing. Why do we get off on it? But anyway, this is my stack here of books. These are all special editions. They're all Fairy Loot or Waterstones exclusive. Most of these are Fairy Loot. And I'm just gonna tell you why I'm getting rid of them. I'm Ragan, by the way, if we haven't met before. Nice to meet you on this depressing day of unhauling books, but stick around for more exciting content. Let's be speedy about this. I don't want to drag out the pain. Let's talk about the first two that you can clearly see on camera. That would be Six Crimson Cranes and Realm Breaker. These are Waterstones paperback exclusive editions. I love these books, but I have this one in hardback, and I also have Realm Breaker in hardback, and I have the sequels to match. And like, I just went on a spree of buying exclusives of every book that I love. I would just buy all of the editions of it, which I really don't need to do, except for Stephanie Garber and Sarah J. Maas. I will buy all of the books, but I don't need these, so they can go to someone who wants to read them. They're brand new, they've never been read. Let's do a juicy one that people might be upset about, just to spark a little controversy in the comments, if you will. Babel by R.F. Kuang. This book is a hot commodity. I did not realize how many people want this edition of it specifically. I just don't think I'm going to love this book like everyone else. I love this edition, and everything about it should resonate with me because I love historical fantasy. I love England. I live here, obviously. Oxford is where this takes place, and I love that dark academia setting, and the edition itself is beautiful. If you haven't seen, there's some gorgeous inside cover art, and the actual hardback is very pretty. It's beautiful, but the reviews that I'm seeing from booktubers and reviewers that I trust tend to be kind of they say it's more like magical realism, which I don't love. I don't love magical realism. And they also say that it's kind of a sludge to get through, and I don't know if that's the writing style or what. But R.F. Kuang, I mean, she's so impressive just reading her author bio, and I feel like this book is her baby and her passions kind of put together and made into a beautiful story, but I just don't think it's gonna resonate with me. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm gonna pass it on to someone who will cherish this book because I don't think I'm going to get to it this fall or winter, and I might as well just make room for new things, you know? Look at me being mature and getting rid of beautiful books. Who am I? Next, I am going to get rid of the book that went through a journey. If you've been with me for the last year, then you may have remembered that I moved houses, but one of my Fairy Loot boxes went to my old place. It was this whole debacle between Fairy Loot and me and the new tenant, and I couldn't get my book, and it was just this whole thing. So it took months for me to get this book, and then I read it, and I didn't like it. And that would be These Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan, book 2 in from These Hollow Vows. I really liked book 1. It was like a solid 4-star. I mean, clearly this takes a lot of inspiration from ACOTAR, and it's the only series I've read where I was like, yeah, this feels a little bit copy and paste. And most times I'll say that like an author can take any trope and make it their own, and like it doesn't mean that Sarah J. Maas invented all of this stuff with Fae and love triangles and whatever, but like this really felt so familiar. But anyway, I didn't like book 2 at all, so I'm going to pass it on. I don't know if this means that I should get rid of the first book. I have it in paperback, but I liked the first book, but the second one I'm gonna move on. Ooh, then I'm going to get rid of A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I read this year. Again, a gorgeous, beautiful edition. Oh, look at the hardback. Look how cool that is. It has this like haunted mansion. Maybe I should take a Halloween book photo before I get rid of this. It's really nice. What was I saying? I read this book and there are parts of it I really loved. and the writing is like very well crafted. She's a great author. But the story, one, I have a problem reading polyamorous polygamy relationships and marriages. Not for me. So that I took issue with reading. But I pushed beyond that to read about this main character's story and the abuse and toxic gaslighting relationship she was in. And at times I like felt her pain in my stomach and heart. So I know that she was a good writer, and I know that the story is well done. I think I vlogged it. But it was sad and I didn't like the ending. Orbit actually reached out to me and offered me an arc of this author's new book that's coming out this fall, and I declined it because I think if it's anything like this book, it's gonna leave me with this like hollow feeling, and I can't say that I liked the story, you know, but it was a good book and I recommend that you try it if any of it sounds interesting to you. It's kind of those ones that I'll always remember reading it, but I didn't like it. Okay, then I'm going to part with, and this is kind of sad, but you know, I gotta pay my bills. I'm gonna part with Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson, not the other edition. This one, I really like this one. So I really just don't need two editions. It has sparkly gold edges. It's really cool. It's about this girl who's a nun. She cleanses the body of the dead, but ends up waking up this like ancient being, and I don't know, it's YA. It's gonna be the start of a trilogy, I think. I really enjoyed it, but someone else can have this beautiful edition. Let's do another big one. Sorry to all you lovers of all of you like the Atlas 6. I am also tempted to get rid of my Waterstones exclusive, which is the other edition I have. This is a Fairy Loot one. Again, it's beautiful, but I started reading this book when I had, well, the other edition, I haven't read this edition. I started reading the Atlas 6 when I had COVID last April, which was the worst combination you could possibly imagine because A, I was just lying naked on the bathroom floor, dripping in sweat and throwing up and crying, and then picking myself back up again, crawling into bed and trying to read and make myself feel better. But I had picked the wrong freaking story because I did not like reading this. I did not like the story. Well, I liked the story in the beginning. I did not like the writing style, and then I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the plot. It felt all over the place for me. It felt... Olivia Blake has a very unique writing style, and she's a good writer. I know she's a good writer, but just not for me. While I'm talking, I'm convincing myself why I'm holding on to the Waterstones exclusive editions of the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox because I had it planned in my head I would like do a funny video of me like trying to give it another chance, then maybe reading the sequel. But as I'm talking about it, I don't think I can do it because it takes me months to finish books that I actually like. How long is it going to take me to finish books that I don't like? Another one that I read this year would be The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. Again, another absolutely stunning book. I read the whole thing. I enjoyed my reading experience of it. I like this author, but I didn't like the story. I didn't like the characters at all. So she's leaving. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. I really wanted to love this one. It came out last fall, and it's a, is it magical realism? I think it might be. No, I don't know what it would be. It'd be like contemporary fantasy because it's like a fantasy world, but the story is contemporary and like they wear jeans and overalls and I don't know. I just found it very info dumpy. There were like pages and pages of just world building info dump, and I didn't like which one's the girl? Mercy? Yeah, I didn't like Mercy. So I thought she was really immature for her age, and I DNF'd it. This Vicious Grace by Emily Theed. I read this last year. I expected it to be more mature than it was. It is YA, but you know how YA can go from like age 12 and then it can be very smutty like Kingdom of the Wicked. I didn't really love this. I felt a little bit lied to. I don't know who lied to me. Okay, I don't remember where I saw reviews for this, but I just expected something better. Is that mean to say? I don't know. It wasn't what I wanted. It's about this girl who has to get married and like use her spouse as a conduit to control her powers and like defeat this I don't know what it was. I've kind of blocked out the story in my head, but it felt very juvenile and silly, and the characters were forgettable, and all the side characters were forgettable, and there was competition that wasn't explained very well, and the love was unbelievable. There's a bodyguard trope, but it's a very pretty edition. It's got some lemons. I just read this one last month in July, Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. This is like a heavy book. It's really very pretty. Very pretty. I just thought it was forgettable and okay. It was kind of like a 3-star, and then by the end I gave it 2 stars. I enjoyed my reading experience of it because it was just like something fun to read, but I didn't love it by any means. I thought the characters fell flat. I didn't understand our main character, who's a siren, her like moral dilemma of killing people because she wants everyone to understand that she can't help it. She just has to kill people. It was like her trying to rationalize being a serial killer was done in a way that just kind of didn't make any sense to me. And there was this whole plot with her sister. No. I love the colors of this book, Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. I mean, look at this. With the hot pink, and the sequel just came out, and I think it's teal. They look beautiful, but I don't know, something about it. It's about a group of women and girls who are part of a coven, and their founder was Anne Boleyn, but I think this takes place in today's time, and they're kind of like MI6. Like, they work for the government and like protect the kingdom of the United Kingdom. But I don't know. I've just always looked at this book and thought, no, I don't want to read that. And then I'm going to get rid of Book of Night by Holly Black. I do have another edition of this book. I think I have the Fairy Loot edition. This is the Waterstones edition. I haven't read this book, but I know a lot of people don't like it. And I just figure I don't need multiple copies of a book that I haven't read and I know people don't like. I'm gonna read it. I'll read my Fairy Loot edition probably, but yeah. So that's it. Those are the books I have to unhaul. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know if there are any books in this pile that you're interested in. You can always email me. My email's linked down below, or you can pop me a message on Instagram and let me know if you want one of these books. I'm sorry if I'm getting rid of one of your favorite books. It's not personal. It just is what it is. It is still hard, I will say, to let go of beautiful books, even if I didn't like it, because I am a book collector and I'm a book lover, and I love looking at my shelf and thinking, oh my God, I've read every book in one of these boxes. You know, it feels good to look at that and to look at the books that I, worked hard to buy and, were gifted to me by friends and family, but I just have to pass them on to people that will appreciate them, and I can make room for other things. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna stop chatting and go finish my coffee and probably browse Amazon to look for more books to buy. Okay, bye.